Hello, my dear friends and colleagues. Today I am going to talk about urinary tract infection, which is the most common infection seen in the women, and around 20% of women they suffer from urinary tract infection once in their lifetime. So what is the definition of UTI? It is the presence of pathogenic organisms in the urinary tract, which includes the urethra, bladder or the kidney, along with the presence of symptoms. So the symptoms are different for lower urinary tract and upper urinary tract. In lower urinary tract, the symptoms are frequency, urgency, burning in micturition, suprapubic pain. Fever may or may not be present. And in the upper urinary tract, the symptoms are loin pain, tenderness, nausea, vomiting, fever with or without rigors, and there is costovertebral angle or the renal angle tenderness. What is symptomatic bacteriuria? It is the presence of significant amount of bacteria in the urinary tract along with the presence of symptoms. So it is defined as presence of 10 raised to the power 5 or more than 10 raised to the power 5 colony forming units of a single bacterium per ml in a freshly voided sample of urine. Nowadays, it is also said that below 10 raised to the power 5 is also significant. Like more than or equal to 10 raised to the power 4 is significant for symptomatic pyelonephritis. More than or equal to 10 raised to the power 3 is significant for symptomatic cystitis, and 10 raised to the power 2 or more than 10 raised to the power 2 is considered significant if it is taken from suprapubic catheter or an indwelling urethral catheter. Now, what is asymptomatic bacteriuria? Where there are no symptoms and there is pathogenic organisms in the urinary tract. This is not significant. It is seen in 4% of women and it is seen in 43% of women who are elderly, more than 85 years of age. It is significant only in cases of pregnancy, in renal transplant patients, and if there is instrumentation of the renal tract. Because if it is not treated in pregnancy, though the incidence in pregnancy and non-pregnancy is same, that is 2 to 10%, but if it is not treated in pregnancy, it can lead to preterm birth, low birth weight and premature rupture of membranes. Now let us see what is meant by pyuria. Pyuria is presence of WBCs in the urine more than or equal to 10 raised to the power 4 per ml. So without infection, presence of WBC is seen in renal calculi, papillary necrosis, interstitial nephritis, tubercular cystitis and chlamydial infection. What is recurrent urinary tract infection? It is defined as presence of urinary tract infection episodes 2 or more in 6 months or 3 or more in a span of 1 year. So if there are some structural abnormalities or immunodeficiency or there is some repeated surgeries, then it is a cause for recurrent urinary tract infection. So we have to do certain investigation in these cases. So what are the basic investigations? Number 1 is the urine dipstick test. In this we have to check for leukocytes and nitrites in the urine. So if the woman is symptomatic and there is presence of nitrites and leukocytes, then we have to treat with the help of antibiotics and we have to send the midstream urine for culture and sensitivity. If the woman is symptomatic but we don't find any leukocytes and nitrites, and then we can still consider giving antibiotics, but we have to send the midstream urine for culture. If there is presence of leukocytes and nitrites and the woman is symptomatic, it means 80% chances is there that there is bacteriuria. Now the third scenario is where she is having no symptoms but the urine is showing presence of leukocytes and nitrites. In this case, we don't have to start antibiotics and we have to wait for the report of the culture sensitivity to come and then we have to decide. And the fourth scenario where there are no symptoms and the urine is also not showing any leukocytes, nitrites, then no treatment is needed. Now what is the cause of recurrent urinary tract infection? It is relapse and reinfection. So these are the two different terminologies. Relapse means it is the recurrence of the infection within 2 to 3 weeks of treatment which is successful and by the same organism. On the contrary, reinfection, which is more common, it is seen in around 80% of cases. It is caused by a different organism any time after treatment is complete, which is successful treatment. So successful treatment is complete and after 2 to 3 weeks she is getting that infection, or it is also defined as infection by the same organism which is happening after 2 to 3 weeks of successful treatment. So relapse is generally caused if the woman is immunocompromised or there is some renal ailment, and reinfection is because of repeated colonization of the vulval area of the urethra, vagina by the organisms. Now, what are the prophylactic measures which we have to take? In this, the first is she is asked to take 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day. Second is to practice double urination, that is after the act of urination is complete, still few drops are left, so she is asked to void them as well. Third is postcoital voiding. Fourth is the use of cranberry juice or cranberry syrup. Now consider the treatment. The treatment includes antibiotic therapy. The most common is a trimethoprim, cotrimoxazole, cephalosporins and nitrofurantoin. In pregnancy, the safest is the penicillin and the cephalosporin. Trimethoprim should not be given in the first trimester because it is teratogenic. Nitrofurantoin should be avoided in the third trimester because it can cause hemolytic crisis in the baby if there is G6PD deficiency. Tetracyclines causes discoloration of the teeth and hyperplasia of the teeth. Aminoglycoside causes 8th nerve damage, so these medicines should be avoided. The organisms which are responsible for urinary tract infections, they are the gut commensals. They are lodging in the perineal area, in the urethra, in the vagina, and they are responsible for urinary tract infections. The most common is the E. coli, which is responsible for 2/3 cases of urinary tract infection. Let us see what is pyelonephritis. It is a serious condition which has to be treated on emergency basis. It is seen in 2% of cases, but if it is not treated, then it can lead to severe bacteremia in 20% of patients. We have to hospitalize the patient, give her IV fluids, broad spectrum antibiotics, second, third generation cephalosporins, aminoglycosides are the drug of choice, and we have to take care of her in an intensive care unit, and we have to do the imaging to rule out any structural abnormality which is responsible for this, and we have to consider VTE prophylaxis for these cases. This is all about various definitions of the urinary tract and the management. So if you like the content of this channel, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Thank you.